Saffron is one of the most labor-intensive and valuable agricultural products in the world, derived from the dried stigmas of the Crocus sativus flower. Its production requires precision, environmental suitability, and extensive manual labor at every stage. Known for its distinctive color, aroma, and bioactive properties, saffron undergoes a carefully controlled process that combines traditional agricultural knowledge with modern quality standards. Saffron cultivation begins not with seeds, but with corms, bulb-like underground storage organs that serve as the reproductive unit of the plant. Farmers select healthy, mature corms and plant them during late summer at a depth of approximately 10 to 15 centimeters in well-prepared soil. Over time, these corms multiply underground, allowing for continued production in subsequent years without the need for reseeding. The quality and size of the corms play a critical role in determining the yield and quality of the flowers. The successful growth of saffron depends heavily on specific environmental conditions. The plant thrives in regions characterized by hot, dry summers and cold winters, along with well-drained sandy or loamy soil. These conditions are essential because saffron requires a period of dormancy during the summer, followed by growth in cooler temperatures. Excess moisture, particularly in poorly drained soils, can lead to corm rot and reduced productivity, making soil management and site selection crucial factors in cultivation. Irrigation practices in saffron farming are carefully controlled to support growth without compromising quality. Although saffron is relatively drought-tolerant, water is typically applied after planting to encourage root establishment and again at the end of summer to stimulate flowering. In regions with insufficient rainfall, supplemental irrigation may be used during the growth phase. However, over-irrigation is strictly avoided, as excessive moisture can negatively affect both yield and the chemical composition of the saffron. The growth cycle of saffron is distinct, with flowering occurring in autumn, typically between October and November, depending on the region. The flowering period is brief, often lasting only 2 to 3 weeks. During this time, each corm produces delicate purple flowers, each containing 3 red stigmas, the valuable component that is harvested as saffron. The short flowering window requires precise timing and intensive labor to ensure that no flowers are missed. Harvesting is performed entirely by hand and usually takes place in the early morning hours before the flowers fully open. This approach helps preserve the integrity and quality of the stigmas by minimizing exposure to sunlight and environmental stress. Because each flower yields only 3 stigmas, an exceptionally large number of flowers must be collected to produce even a small quantity of saffron, making this stage highly labor-intensive. Following harvest, the flowers are carefully processed to separate the stigmas from the rest of the flower. This delicate procedure is also conducted manually to ensure that only the deep red stigmas are attained, as their purity directly influences the final product's quality. Any inclusion of yellow or damaged parts can reduce the grade and market value of the saffron. The drying process is a critical step that significantly impacts the final characteristics of saffron, including its color, aroma, and shelf life. Fresh stigmas contain natural moisture and must be dried under controlled conditions to preserve their chemical integrity. Traditional low-heat methods or modern drying systems are used to reduce moisture content while maintaining key bioactive compounds such as crocin and saffronal. Proper drying enhances the concentration of these compounds, which are responsible for saffron's quality attributes. In contemporary production systems, saffron undergoes laboratory testing to ensure compliance with quality and safety standards. Analytical methods, including spectrophotometric analysis, are used to measure the levels of important compounds such as crocin, picrocrocin, and saffronal. These parameters determine the classification and grading of saffron according to international standards, ensuring consistency and authenticity in the market. Once tested, saffron is carefully packaged to protect it from environmental factors such as light, air, and moisture, all of which can degrade its quality over time. High-quality packaging typically involves airtight containers stored in cool, dark conditions to preserve the spice's potency, color, and aroma throughout its shelf life. The production of saffron is a highly specialized process that requires a combination of suitable environmental conditions, skilled labor, and precise post-harvest handling. From planting corms and managing irrigation to harvesting, drying, testing, and packaging, each stage contributes to the final quality of the product. This complexity, combined with the low yield per flower, explains why saffron remains one of the most valuable and sought-after natural products in the world.